This is Super Yacht News with Sisman.
Hi, welcome back to the channel. Okay, on my left or on your right, you can see motor yacht Wunderlust. This is footage that's been sent in for our Yacht Spot feature. This is where you, the viewer, sends us footage of your favorite yachts or yachts that you've seen where you live, and we post them on the channel just so we can look at some yachts. This is, as I said, motor yacht Wunderlust. This was shot in the Maldives yesterday. This is an 85 metre or 278 foot super yacht built by Silver Yachts in Australia. Now, this is a sister ship to motor yacht Bold. So you might have thought that that looked like Bold, but this boat is white and Bold is grey. That's how you can tell the difference. Now, we did a tour of motor yacht Bold at the Monaco Yacht Show in 2019. If you want to check that out, I'll put a link in the corner there. Now, this boat is for sale, this boat is for charter for $960,000 a week. We'll move on to the next boat. Now, this is Motor Yacht Project X, which is an interesting name because normally a boat is given a project name in the shipyard, and then once it's delivered, it gets its official name. But in this case, the owners decided to go with Project X, which is, normally it's a project until it's completed, right? But in this case, it's still Project X. This was shot in St. Kitts by one of our patrons, City Centre Yachts. Now, this is an 88 metre or a 288 foot super yacht built by Golden Yachts in Greece. And it was brand new last year, and it debuted at the Monaco Yacht Show. It's on our channel if you want to check it out. And it is for sale, interestingly. It's already for sale for $160 million. All right, so we'll move on to our first story. And this is motor yacht Solaris is on the move. Now, this boat is owned by Roman Abramovich, and it fled to Turkey at the beginning of the hostilities in Ukraine. It actually left the shipyard in Barcelona one day before Mr. Abramovich was sanctioned by the UK government, that is, and it headed straight to Turkey. Actually, it went to Tivat in Montenegro and sat there at anchor for a while. I think they were going to get fuel, but they weren't able to get any, and then it headed to Turkey. And it's been in Turkey ever since, at anchor in Marmaris Bay, and then it's been going back and forth between Gojek and Marmaris. And the boat was seen heading to Marmaris recently, and it went alongside for about a day, and then it went back to Gojek. Now, we think the vessel went there to refuel. This is a pattern that they've been doing since this whole thing started. And we've seen Eclipse doing the same thing. That's another boat owned by Roman Abramovich. Now, a couple of things this tells us. That first of all, there's no problems getting any fuel in Marmaris. And secondly, there's no problems paying for the fuel, because we know that Abramovich had some problems paying the crew at the beginning of the hostilities. And it could have just been down to the fact that most of his crew were British, and he wasn't able to pay them directly into British accounts because of the sanctions. But we're not sure. But anyway, the fact that they're getting fuel again means that everything seems to be moving out there despite the best efforts of the Western authorities. All right, so we'll move on to our next story. And this is Amore Vero has been hauled out of the water today in La Ciotat in France. So the boat was arrested in March last year. It's believed to be owned by Igor Sechin, who is a Russian billionaire and said to be the right-hand man of Vladimir Putin. Now, the vessel was in La Ciotat shipyard when it was arrested. It tried to leave, and it was arrested there, and it's been there ever since. Now, nothing's been happening with this boat the whole time it's been there, as far as we know. Hasn't really moved. It moved from one berth to another, and that was about it. But the fact that it's been pulled out of the water today means that work is going to commence on that yacht, which is very interesting development in itself, because it means that money's moving, right? Because the shipyard's not going to do any work if there's no money. Now, it could be a safety thing. There could have been an issue with the vessel because it's been sat there for so long, and they've had to pull it out of the water to fix some problem, some leak or some problem with ballast or something like that, something that requires it to be out of the water. But it could also mean that money is moving and that work is being carried out on that boat. Now, we did a story a few months ago that said that the French and the Spanish were accepting payments from owners of arrested yachts to pay for crew and to pay for other things on the vessel. So it could be that they're being granted permission to work on the vessel even though it's still arrested. But we don't know. We've contacted La Ciotat and they never respond to our emails. So we will try to find out. If you've got any information about the reasons why it's been hauled out of the water, please get in touch. But stay tuned and we will bring it to you when we get it. All right, so we'll move on to our next story now. And this is motor yacht Koru has been seen on sea trials. This was in Boat International today. Now, the motor yacht Koru, also known as Y721, that was the designated build number of the yacht while it's being built in the shipyard. Now, this is, it was seen in the North Atlantic, by the way. Now, this boat is believed to be owned by Jeff Bezos, and it's a 127 meter long or 416 foot sailing yacht, which makes it the largest sailing yacht in the world. It gets that title even though Sailing Yacht A is longer, because Sailing Yacht A is a sail assisted yacht. This is a fully fledged sailing yacht. Now this will also be accompanied with a support vessel when it's delivered, which is a traditional support vessel with a helicopter landing pad and all the toys on it. The yacht caused controversy when it was being built because the yacht has the masts are so high that they would not have been able to get it out of the rivers in the Netherlands. Most of these companies that build yachts, they're upstream in these areas, and as yachts have got bigger and bigger over the years, they've become more of a problem to get them out into the open ocean. So what they do is they sail them down on barges. Because the masts are so tall, they floated an idea to partially dismantle a historic bridge in Rotterdam that had been destroyed during World War II and had been rebuilt. And this didn't sit well with the locals. And one local put a page on Facebook that said that let's all get together and throw eggs at the yacht when it passes through. So obviously the shipyard wasn't very happy about that. So what they decided to do instead is they sailed the boat out at night through a different route without the mast stepped, and then they fitted the masts downstream when they were safe to do so. So Jeff Bezos will only be sailing this boat to egg-free ports, I'm told, by reliable sources. That's a joke, by the way, at the end. Okay, so we'll move on to the main story, and this is a Mangusta yacht fire in Budapest in Hungary. This happened yesterday on the Danube River at a marina there. The 25 meter or 82 foot yacht was named Le St. James and was built by Marina in Italy. And the yacht was docked, as I said, in a marina when the fire started. Now the marina is called Viking Yacht Club or Viking Yacht Club, I'm not quite sure which one that is, on the Danube River. Now the director of that yacht club said on a local TV station that the yacht had been there for 2 years. And he said she came in for renovations, but according to our knowledge, the work had been suspended for some time. So I couldn't say what could have caused the fire on board. It does seem a little bit odd that a boat that is unmanned and it also had no fuel in it at the time of the fire. So if there's nobody working on it and it's got no fuel in it, how did the fire start? It could be batteries, there could be a number of things. As you can see also, when they were fighting the fire, the yacht sank, which is quite common because they pour so much water on them to try to put them out. Now, all the footage you see here was sent to us by one of our subscribers who goes by the name of Levente. So we really appreciate all of your efforts to get it to us. The yacht was listed for sale, strangely, for $2 million at the time of this fire. Now, there's no cause of the fire as of yet, but we'll let you know when we find out. If you know what the cause of the fire was, please be sure to get in touch. All right, one more thing before I go. In the last video, we talked about Project 1601 or Motor Yacht Norn. This is a brand new boat that is still being built by Lursten in Germany. And we said that the vessel was owned by a chap called Charles Simonyi, and I misidentified him as being Russian/American. That is incorrect. He's Hungarian/American. So I wanted to make this correction because it's very important, especially right now with all of the stuff going on with the sanctions towards Russians. A lot of the companies that deal with yachts, they have to do something called Know Your Client, and they have to confirm that there is no sanctioned Russian who owns a vessel. So I don't want to add any confusion to that because it is quite a confusing situation already for people. So like companies that offer services or offer parts and stuff like that, they have to confirm that they're not selling them to a sanctioned Russian owner. He is not Russian, he is Hungarian/American. So I apologize for that. Now we also got told that the boat was officially owned by a company and not by Charles Simonyi, and the company's name is 1601 Limited. Now that is the same name as the build number of the boat, so that's clearly a company that's been designed. The only asset of that company will be the vessel. So we still believe that this boat is the replacement for Motor Yacht Scat and will be going to Charles Simonyi once completed. So anyway, before we go, be sure to check out our Patreon page. You can find it at patreon.com/esysman. You'll get to see exclusive videos not published on YouTube. You'll get to see early access to features advert free. We just posted one video today on there, which is an advert free video. You'll also get to suggest topics for future videos and ask questions for upcoming Q&As. We also have a video going out at the weekend, which is a Patreon only Q&A. So all of the questions are asked by our patrons, and I will be recording that video and posting it on there at the weekend. So if you want to check that video out as well, because it's not going to be posted onto YouTube, in the ticker tape here, patreon.com/esysman. All right, guys, thanks very much for watching. If you've got any information about any of the stories or any other stories, please be sure to get in touch. You can find us at the About page of the YouTube channel. You can find us on Instagram, on Facebook Messenger, and you can also find us on Threema. Be sure to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell for future notifications. All right, guys, thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye-bye.